just
So this site offers its visitors a number of strange carvings created by early civilizations that inhabited the region thousands of years ago. Now, among the numerous carvings, ancient man depicted what appeared to be strange beings with elongated heads and almond-shaped eyes. Now, they are eerily similar to the modern-day representations of gray aliens. And, of course, just like the other one, we will have a photograph of this petroglyph in these gray aliens, which...
Is that one about to commit murder?
I don't know.
It looks like he has a dagger in his hand.
I don't know, but that is 100% an alien. Aliens. That's two aliens.
Yeah, that's an alien. Those are aliens.
Oh.
With a dagger. What looks like one has boobs.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The one to the left does look like it has breasts. You know, I like that.
Breastises.
Okay, so, yeah, that is very odd.
Very interesting. I mean, it could just be fading in the stone, but...
No, that's not fading in the stone. Look at their head shape and look at their eyes. They got almond-shaped eyes. They got round alien-like heads. That's an alien, man. Aliens.
Oh, that's not a dagger. That's the other one's arm. He's like this.
Oh, they're just holding hands.
Yeah. It looks like a dagger to me. I'm still going with that one's about to commit murder.
All right, so let's go to our next petroglyphs. Tell us about them, Dan.
All right, so our next one is the Canyon Watchman petroglyphs at Organ Mountains, New Mexico. Now, the Organ Mountains are a rugged mountain range in southern New Mexico.
In these mountains are petroglyph carvings which depict what seems to be humanoid figures with large eyes and two antennas protruding from the top of its head. Now, some experts want to believe that this was a depiction of an ancient shaman, right? Which kind of makes sense. But there are many who remain convinced that what we are seeing here is in fact a depiction of the sky god, quote unquote, sky god beings who came to Earth thousands of years ago and interacted with ancient cultures across the planet, which that is a theory, and we'll get into theories here in a little bit about that Anunnaki pretty much. But if you scroll down, you can see the carvings on all the rocks, which they did a really good job.
I was about to say, really good job. It almost looks like, with the way this setting is and everything, it almost looks like they glow.
It does.
Looks pretty boss.
It does. Yeah. And I like how the stars at night, you know?
Is that the Zeta Reticuli? No.
Hey, and I do have to say, just like our regular episode, these rocks are out in the open, and there's a large field, right? So if there was aliens that came by, they would think, hey, this is a great area to stop by. That's just me theorizing, you know?
This is where we picked up John.
Yeah. All right, so we have a lot of these, so let's continue on. Dan, tell us about our next one.
All right, another interesting set of ancient petroglyphs we have to take a look at is the Oasis American petroglyphs. Now, these originate from an ancient culture of indigenous people from southern New Mexico and Arizona, northern Sonora, and Chihuahua,
yeah.
And Chihuahua, and western Texas, which this region is often referred to as Oasis America. The Mogollon culture, which, side note, this was an ancient people whose origins remain a mystery for scholars. Also, as a little knowledge nugget, it is noteworthy to mention that archaeologists believe that the western pueblos, villages of the Hopi and the Zuni people are related to the Mogollon. So, shout out to Anna.
Yeah, shout out to you, Anna. All right, so across the 100,000 square mile area that encompasses this giant Oasis America area, archaeologists have found countless symbols etched in stone, and they stood the test of time because they've been there for a long ass time. And these symbols often contain faces with strange almond-shaped eyes, spirals, zigzags, beings with antennas, horns, feathers, birds, and other countless weird. You're starting to see a trend, just like with pyramids, right? All these ancient civilizations carved very similar things into the sides of rocks when they couldn't communicate with other ancient civilizations. How did they all see the same thing? Was it maybe because aliens were traveling? I don't know. We'll save that for theories. But just like the other ones, we have the rock drawings up here, pictures of those. A lot of weird, strange beings on this one as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of them on there.
You see that guy at the bottom right with the ding-a-ling?
I do.
He's got his dong hanging out. But hey, there's also, if you look to the left, a being with a big round stomach. And then up to the right, there's another individual. And then up to the right up of him is a being with some weird, looks like almost like a hat and weird shaped arms. They all have those weird downward arms.
Yeah, and if you look beside the one with the round stomach looking thing, just to the bottom left of it, there's another one that's really skinny.
Yeah, and it looks like he's almost like laying down on, I say he, it, them, they, whatever, he, her, whatever, alien, I don't know, is laying down on the ground, and that zigzag thing almost looks like a snake on the ground next to him.
It really does.
I'd love to go see these in person. All that hiking, though, screw that. I'd have to have like a hovercraft.
We're going to take a vehicle out there and then run out of gas.
Well, I don't want the vehicle to ruin any of the petroglyphs.
Well, we're not going to drive it all the way up to it. You drive like to the bottom of it, and then you walk up.
Okay.
Aaron's thinking about going off-roading for sure, just driving up on top of these things.
No, hell no. I don't want to destroy them. I want to go look at them and take a picture of them.
I mean, they are fascinating, though.
They are. Are you having issues with your internet? Is that why your video's not up?
Yeah, for some reason it froze and then it won't load back up on me.
Nah, it's fine.
So I'm like waiting it out to try it again soon.
Okay. All right, so tell us about our next set of petroglyphs, Dan.
Our next petroglyphs are located in Chile, in the barren Atacama Desert of northern Chile, to be exact. This area displays more than 350 figures. One human figure is 100 meters high. That's 328 feet. I didn't do the math. Aaron did. He typed it in. He gave it to him.
Yes, I did the math on this.
Yeah. Now, this dates between 500 AD and 1450. It is also worth noting that some have been damaged by illegal mining, erosion, and tourists with no respect who like to drive up right on it like Aaron wants to do.
No, I don't want to drive right up on it. I just want to look at them, you know.
Just look at it.
You can just look at it. So you can see the first image that we have here. Very similar to the other ones. These beings with, like, I don't know, antennas are very sharp things protruding out of their head.
It's almost starting to remind me of the mask thing off of Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. And if you scroll down, you remember when we talked about the Atacama alien?
Oh.
There it is again, that one giant being in the Atacama Desert.
Yeah.
Now, if you haven't listened to our Atacama Alien episode, I highly suggest listening to that. Yeah, it's a great episode, and I did not know that there was petroglyphs in that area. Well, I mean, I knew about the giant Atacama, but I didn't know that there was rock carvings in the area that depicted these weird beings with antennas. And also, there's like a Gumby-looking fella right there on one of the rocks.
That reminds me of that amazing Squidward painting. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Just so you know, a buddy of mine got married, and on his, the registry list for presents and stuff, or gifts, he had this painting on there for fun, and I actually bought it for him. So he has it hanging up in his house now. I'm going to post it right underneath this one. I don't know why it reminds me of this one.
Oh my god. It does sort of look like that.
I think it's the eyes and the legs.
The body shape, yeah. If you scroll down and you look at this last one,
That one's actually kind of scary looking.
That's what I was going to say. It almost looks like a ghost-like figure, which when we talked about the Atacama, if you can remember, the Atacama alien, there was that one area, the Atacama Desert, where they talked about zombies raising up out of the dead and traveling between towns, which that kind of looks like a zombie.
That kind of does.
Because of the eye shapes is more of like a skull eye shape rather than a alien eye shape.
And you can like see like where it's darkened for like where the nose would be.
Yeah.
There's like empty holes there.
Yep.
Okay, that's pretty scary.
All right. So let's move on to our next set of petroglyphs, which we're going to be traveling overseas and into the Middle East. So during recent years, a large number of rock carvings have been identified in different parts of Iran. The vast majority of these carvings depict the ibex, which is several different species of mountain goats, right? And that's normal because that's fairly common for the area. However, there were some carvings that were found in December of 2016 near Gopiegan, Iran, which may be the oldest drawings discovered, because one of the clusters of drawings is around 40,000 years old. However, due to U.S. sanctions, there hasn't been many people allowed over there to study these drawings. But we do have some images of them, which you can see in one of the drawings. They're hunters that are shooting these mountain goats, right? One of them stabbing them, and then looks like at the various ones, which is pretty normal. But then you go down to this one, and it is a praying mantis figure. So the way this image is set, it's laying down vertically, or it's laying down horizontally. You got to make it vertical, and that's how it's supposed to be. It's like a praying mantis person with 6 arms. It almost looks like an insect creature that many people talk about when they talk about UFO abductions and getting abducted by a praying mantis figure.
Oh, true.
Yeah, which is very odd.
Freak out if I saw something like that.
Yeah, me too. All right, Dan, tell us about our next petroglyphs.
All right, so our next ones are located deep in the Mojave Desert in eastern California. So in this location, there are over 100,000 Paleo-Indian or Native American images dating as far back as 16,000 years ago. The images there fall into 6 categories: bighorn sheep, emptoptic images, human-like figures, other animals, weapons and tools, and medicine bag images.
Now, these carvings are located inside the United States' Navy testing range, which, I mean, it really isn't a bad thing. I mean, initially you kind of think it would be a bad thing, but it's kind of not, because it's kind of kept the public away from these carvings, and it kind of like preserved them, which made it one of the best preserved sites in the world. But if you do want to see them, they do have tours. So you could go there, take a tour, and actually see these petroglyphs, which, take a look at that.
Do they charge for this tour?
I don't know. I assume so. Everything costs money.
Figures.
But take a look at that. Those are some weird beings. It almost looks like a flower being.
Yeah, they all have different head shapes.
Yeah, there's one that has like a swirl head shape with almost looks like a Ferris wheel head. It's got a little being next to it, which looks like a little reptilian.
Dude, if these were actual beings that people have, like, that they've seen and then they carved into rocks.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, all of these are terrifying. Is that if they depict the exact image, I'd be terrified.
All right, so tell us about our last petroglyphs, Dan.
So our last area of petroglyphs that we're going to talk about are located in northern Italy, Valcamonica to be exact. So this Valcamonica is a broad valley at the base of the Central Alps in eastern Lombardy. It is home to an enormous amount of complex ancient engraving dating back to 10,000 years ago, to the rise of the Roman Empire.
Now, some of these engravings